Testing. Shalom. The real Hebrew Israelites coming day in and day out. Prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is America. First off and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Okar Kadash. Double honors to thee, all apostles, great men, some salutations to the elect, wherever you may be. Brother Shapaya coming at you again. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. I'll just play this real quick. Let me try to find it there really. Show me. Hold on. Alright, Salaki, I'm back on. So I'm just trying to find I'm back. Trying to find the video. Let me see.
Kyrie Irving continues to make headlines for reasons that have nothing to do with basketball. Last night he said he took responsibility for the negative impact his tweet had on the Jewish community. But it wasn't enough for NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, who released a terse statement this morning. Quote, Kyrie Irving made a reckless decision to post a link to a film containing deeply offensive anti-Semitic material. I am disappointed.
Crazy thing is Amazon and the NBA have a partnership. So are you mad at the person selling the damn movie? Or are you mad at the person that posted about the movie? Alright?
That he has not offered an unqualified apology, and more specifically, denounced the vile and harmful content contained in the film he chose to publicize. I will be meeting with Kyrie in person in the next week to discuss the situation. After Silver's stern warning.
So nowadays, calling yourself an Israelite is a fucking crime. We could be wherever the hell we want to be, except saying that we're the chosen or the true Israelites. Alright? What Kanye did, he didn't say he hated the so-called fake Jews or whatnot. Kyrie never said that. Kyrie said he embraced all walks of life. But when you call yourself an Israelite, then you have a fucking problem, right?
Kyrie spoke with the media for 6 minutes after the team's practice in Sunset Park. He continued to take responsibility, but once again did not offer a formal apology. Here's a sample of what he had to say.
I take my full responsibility. Again, I'll repeat it, for posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. The fact that this is painted against the Jewish community. And I'm here answering.
Now, and see, this is how Esau trying to get you. Listen, you either serve the Lord or you serve man. All right, it's one or the other. All right, you either love Yahweh Hashem or you love this fucking money more. All right, you can't serve two gods, man. All right, you have to completely lose everything for Yahweh Hashem, man. All right, fuck the money, fuck the fame, man. All this shit is temporal. All right, so lucky that it took a little minute, flowing.
And questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create, and it was something I shared, and I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility, then that's where I sit. I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
And that's the point. That's the whole point. The man said, I can't be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. So in so many words, he's saying he's Israelite. All right? Now, this is a guy that's caught up in all types of Egyptology. His mind is everywhere, man. He's a confused man. But he is right about us being Israelites, man. All right? Which a lot of you people in Hollywood, especially you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know the truth, man. It didn't take Kanye to come out on a public stance and say what he was. It didn't take this man to come out and say what he was. All right? But obviously this thing is rolling like a wildfire. This is the controversy of Israel, man. All right? And we're the most controversial people on planet Earth, man. Who are the chosen Israelites? Listen, Esau, your fucking gig is up, man. We know you're Edomites. The scholars know that you're Edomites, man. All right? The fact that you're doing this witch hunt on men who's coming back to their nationality, they're seeing all the lies and all the bullshit. All right, now you guys want to so-called bad jacket, all right?
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
I thought we gave him a fair chance to say, I'm sorry this afternoon. He did not. It was one of the most...
The nigga said he took full accountability for posting that, all right? You just say you're trying to deal with me. Please, bear with me, brothers. All right, Salaki, I'm back. Daddies and their little girls. Anyway, check some of the comments. All right, shalom to all y'all can tune in. Right, so the man said, I can't be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. So obviously the man knows he's an Israelite, right? So with that being said and done, that's not good enough for E. That's not good enough for E. He wants him to fight out and say, I was wrong. The Jews are the chosen people. So yada, 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 man.
Bizarre press gatherings I've ever covered. I don't think this story is going away anytime soon. We'll see what happens after Kyrie meets with Adam Silver. The Nets play.
Hey, fuck that Jew too. That Khazar. I'm gonna say it. Nigga, I ain't rich. I don't give a fuck. But personally, you people cannot take us claiming our true nationality. Which, let me just honestly, let's just get into it, man. Because it's bullshit. It's BS. This is Zechariah 9:6. It says, a bastard should dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. All right? So let's get the blue letter. Let's go straight to Zechariah 9, verse 6. Let's see who this bastard is, right? Illegitimate child. Who's the illegitimate child? Esau. All right. Who has the birthright? Jacob. All right. And that's how it was in the spirit. The Lord said the elder should serve the younger. All right. And we all know the story of Esau and Jacob. Esau came out first. Jacob came out second. So that was prophecy that Jacob will have that birthright regardless. All right. So this bastard dwelling in Ashdod, which Ashdod is what? A city in Israel. All right. Who is this bastard? Esau Edom. Hey, like the brother just posted, Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person, which profane means outside the temple, as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. All right. Verse 17. For ye know how afterwards that he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. So Esau Edom is rejected. These Edomites have been pissed off a long time because the Lord didn't choose them. All right. He was rejected and had found no place for repentance, though he sought it out with tears. Hey, let me get the Romans 9. All right. The Lord just ain't dealing with you Edomites, man. Nine and 13, Romans. It is written, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. There's no unrighteousness to be held by Shem Shai. That's how the Lord set it up, man. All right? This is Isaiah 34 and 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, for the year of his recompenses, for the controversy of Israel, or the controversy of Zion. And what's the controversy? Who's been in slavery? Who got put on slave ships? Who's going through the curses? You Israelites, not these rat bastards in the land calling themselves Jews. All right, well, where's the other tribes at then? All right, we know Judah consisted of Levi, Benjamin, and Judah. All right, where's the other tribes at? Where's Zebulun? Where's Asher? Okay, where's Reuben? Well, what about them? All right. Well, wait, where the fuck is King David at? Y'all the chosen people. According to the old text, King David's supposed to be sitting on the throne. So where's David at? Why isn't war still in that country? All right. Because the Lord said when Israel was saved and brought back to their land, there should be no more war. Obviously, there's war all up and down in Gaza Strip. All right. And this is the controversy the Lord has, man. Who are the chosen? Hey, Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. What did the Lord say in Isaiah? That he was going to destroy the covering cast over all the people. So in the latter days, the true identity of all the nations were going to be revealed. All right? It's crazy, man. You fucking Edomites got your fucking panties in a bunch because we telling you who and what the fuck we is, man. All right? Matter of fact, let me get this. Okay, I thought that was. Let me get this. Ezekiel. Where is it at? I think it's 36. This is Ezekiel 36 and 12. Yea, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Israel, and they shall possess thee, that that thou should be their inheritance, and thou shalt no more henceforth berave them of men. All right. So the Lord told you what was going to happen to us, right? Here's the other part. It's all about the heathen. Uh, that's Ezekiel 35. I thought it was. Yeah, here we go. Right, and this is another thing. You're starting to see the two sticks come together, man. And guess what? It's not the people you thought they were. All right, it's not those rat bastards over there in that land. All right. Where is it at? I thought it was Ezekiel. It is Ezekiel. Hold on. So like you bear with me. Basically, it's the 1946 of scripture in Ezekiel. It's in Ezekiel. Basically, when they took our land. But nonetheless, let me try to search it this way. Right. Hey, so here's the first one I was looking for. This is Ezekiel 34 and 28. There shall no more be a prey to the heathens, neither shall the beasts of the land devour them, but they shall dwell in safety, and none shall make them afraid. If that was the truth, you Jews, you so-called Jews, wouldn't be in conflict or have any type of wars right now, man. So thus, you're not the people. All right? You're not the people. There was one when he was talking about getting the heathen. Man. Here we go. This is Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh thy power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which hath appointed my land unto their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. So what heathens, all right, did this? All right, you Idumeans, all right, you Edomites. All right, when you read is it Zephaniah? It talks about how they parted the Lord's land, man. Which, let me get that. No, it's Joel 32. I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead, which is judge, with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nation and parted my land. Were you, Khazar, scattered across all the nations in captivity? No. Therefore, you don't fit the prophecies. All right? But you know who were? All right? It's called the Atlantic slave trade, or the triangular slave trade. had West Coast Africa, all right. You had the West Coast of Europe, all right, and then you had the Americas, which was the new land, all right. That's how Israel got scattered to the four corners of the earth. Not only us mingling with the heathens, but in captivity we were put on slave ships. All right, we were put on slave ships, man. Henceforth, we are the children of the book. Matter of fact, let's do it this way. Let's see what pops up. A slave collar. All right, a slave collar, man. That's the first thing that pops up.
So I was going through some old newspapers and I actually found a runaway notice and were captured or retrieved.
So I look up yoke of iron. This is the first video that pops up, man. It don't look like no Jewish bastards was in there.
To keep you from getting into the woods, the hooks would for this, and we hope we don't clip you. Okay, hold on 1 second. Are you alright? Okay, close.
That's a yoke of iron.
Is it pinching you? Good.
You can find this in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, man. All right. Last I checked, none of this happened. None of this happened to you guys, man. All right. And it says, all right, back in that Joel 3, says they parted my land. So obviously the people that's over there in that land are not the people. This is Isaiah 14 and 25. I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon the mountains tread them under the foot. Then shall his yoke depart off of them, and his burden depart off of their shoulders. All right, which is who? You Edomites, starting with you Khazars, man. All right, because the so-called modern-day Assyrian are you Edomites, man. And the Lord said He's going to break the Assyrian in my land. Where's the land of the Lord? Where's the land of Israel? Israel, okay? All right? Because you guys are possessing something that isn't yours. But guess what? The Lord said He was going to do that, man. The Lord said He was going to put you heathens in our land, take us out of our land, and cast us into captivity, into slavery. All right? Now, all you guys that are whoop-hop about Kyrie, all right, basically saying he can't be anti-Semitic because you know where he come from. So let's look at some more reactions, man. All right.
Foreign companies dominate chip manufacturing, causing the supply chain crisis, threatening our national security. It's why I helped pass the CHIPS Act to bring high-tech chip manufacturing and create hundreds of thousands of new jobs doing it.
Yeah, y'all want that mark to come in.
Take my responsibility for posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue.
Right, so he's trying to play to the white man's game.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. We will get to the World Series no-hitter in a moment, but we begin today with developing news about Kyrie Irving. Last night, the Nets and Irving released a statement with the Anti-Defamation League in which they agreed to donate $500,000 each towards, quote, causes and organizations that work to eradicate hate and intolerance in our communities, unquote. In the statement, Irving said he took responsibility for what was seen as his endorsement of an anti-Semitic book and movie, but he did not apologize, nor did he during a brief media session today. Also today, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver issued a statement calling Irving's original social...
And you know what's really anti-Semitic? Putting us in slavery, man. Nobody wants to talk about how that was so anti-Semitic, man. Nobody talks about that. The shit you white people, you Edomites, did to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that was anti-Semitic, man.
Quote, a reckless decision, unquote, and added that he was, quote, disappointed Kyrie has not offered an unqualified apology.
Hey, you know,
his original social media post, quote, a reckless decision.
You know what's funny?
And added that he was, quote, disappointed.
You got the... You fucking weak. Man, how about you now, shot destroy you fake fucking Jews, man. Right?
He has not offered an unqualified apology. And what...
Knowing damn well that you Khazar bastards had a big hand in selling us into slavery. But nobody talks about the anti-shit that y'all did against Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Y'all not donating $500,000 to not the ancestors. What do you say? The generations, the product of people that came after slavery, man. All right.
Specifically denounced the violent, harmful content contained in the film he chose to publicize, unquote.
And you want to talk about violent and harmful content? Read Isaiah the 14th chapter. Read Isaiah the 47th chapter. Read Ezekiel the 35th chapter. Read Malachi the 4th chapter. Read Malachi the 5th chapter. Yahweh Shem Shai is going to allow us to get our hands on you fucking Edomites, man, when he gives us the power, when he raises us up.
Meet with Irving in the next week. Wilbon, what do you make of these developments?
Tony, we'll start with the $500,000 donation, which will benefit someone. Those are real dollars. They will benefit someone to that effort.
But niggas getting they dicks. This is the shameful part of it. Your fucking ancestors got their dicks cut off, hung, burned, raped, put in slavery. And y'all talking about this fucking crooked ass league sending $500,000 to anti-Semitism or any fucking racial shit, man. But you guys allow all this shit to go on.
And it's a PR effort. I mean, and the reason it's fraudulent is because Kyrie Irving did not, as usual, take any accountability for, in this case, his words. He never does. Now, among his words, and I listened to every word of his press conference, he said he is a guiding light. Kyrie Irving, a guiding light, which says to me, because he loses me there, he's just a dangerous egomaniac. That's what he is. So he never takes accountability. He doesn't get it. He turned himself into a victim. I'm sure you heard it too. So he's a victim, and he's a guiding light, which means there's no accountability whatsoever, and that is why Adam Silver, in part, is going to wind up talking to him, Tony. The league
Fuck Adam Silver. He's a fake-ass Jew, too.
understands. I know the commissioner must understand what this makes everybody look like who just passes on Kyrie Irving if they do. This is a problem, John.
All right. So when I first heard about the donation to the ADL, I thought, well, what is this about? He hasn't apologized. You're just throwing money at this?
Yeah.
You think you can get him out on the court by throwing money at the problem without an apology?
Hey, Kyrie don't give a fuck. He done made enough money where he's straight. Whatever. And low-key, he's one of the most exciting basketball players on the court, and the league knows that.
Yeah, I think you gotta be kidding, right? Mike, this is personal for me on a lot of levels, differently than most people, because I am Semitic. myself.
He's Semitic, but he ain't.
On the show.
Fuck out of here, man.
Say,
Hey, man, maybe how about you mouth shall destroy all you fucking Edomites, man. Oh, I'm Semitic. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, Esau. You guys are full of shit, man. The cat is out of the fucking bag. You red-ass so-called white people, which are Edomites, are not the people of the book. Simply put, the Lord told Moses to put his hand in his bosom. When Moses brought it out, it was white, leopardess as snow. If that man had leopard skin already, how would his hand turn white?
people who look like me can't go here or can't do this, and I listen and watch with great sympathy. I know what the Holocaust was. I know that people that look like me were exterminated like rats. So I know what you...
But what happened to his people, though? You niggas talking about some shit that didn't really exist when you really go into that true story. But the evidence of our people going through all the shit we went through, nobody talks about, man. Matter of fact, you guys try to erase it out of the history books.
extent of anti-Semitism can be, and it makes me very, very nervous and afraid in those sorts of situations.
Hey, don't worry. You ain't got to worry about somebody rounding you up and exterminating you. Because the Israelites going to do it when the Lord gives us that power. All right? The Lord talks about us rounding you fuckers up and throwing you in the pit. All right? Read Obadiah, man. All right? You talking about eradication. You Edomites haven't seen eradication yet.
I was amazed, Mike, that the League condemned anti-Semitism as hate speech, but never mentioned Kyrie Irving, who I felt endorsed that particular hate speech. Now I'm glad I understand.
Well, let's look up something real quick. All right. So let's get this, right? It says Overtime Elite gets media deal with Amazon Prime Video. The deal to stream Overtime Elite games to Prime Video comes at the top of male players considered the league an option and tradition from high school to the colleges, right? So that's one part of it. All right. Where's the other one? Right. It says NBA ready to sell you a $1 billion exclusive domestic streaming package. All right, basketball league seeking to attract big players such as Amazon and Apple. So hold on, you guys. Oh, check this out. It says NBA agrees multi-year Amazon streaming rights deal for Brazil. Right. So the NBA and Amazon is already in bed together. Amazon is selling this book online. Why isn't the whole world coming after Amazon for allowing this book to be sold? If it's so fucking detrimental and things of that nature, do you know how many fucking racist books Esau done put out that is sold everywhere? And this is the hypocrisy of Edom. Because now that your shame is being shown, you're trying to cover it up. You're trying to point the finger at other people.
Because I thought he was acting very weakly. I'm glad he has stood up. In effect, he has called Kyrie Irving to the principal's office. I think he's given him a week because he hopes there'll be an apology. And he won't have to do something like suspend him. But down the road, I think he's going to have to, and I'll tell you why, Mike. This is the league of Robert Sarver and the league of Donald Sterling. It is the league that is against hate on all levels. It can't just be for the owners. That's right. It's got to be for the players. That's right, Tony. This has a lot.
As long as you niggas shoot a pork skin and make me money and follow my rules. Yeah.
Look, Tom, I said this the first day, that Kyrie is the biggest problem. But way larger than firing Steve Nash and all this other stuff, Kyrie's the big problem with that team, that franchise. It attaches itself to the league. If the league doesn't say no, we are not with you. The union, name him. We're not talking about all your players. We're talking about this dude who's dangerous because he's smart enough, though he's not nearly as smart as he thinks he is or nearly as literate as he thinks he is. He is a dangerous dude because he's smart enough.
You know how he's smarter than you? At least he knows he is right. You just a fucking coon.
To only appeal to some people and have some charisma.
These people are full of shit, man. These people are full of shit. Let's see some of this shit.
After the Highland Park parade shooting, Darren Bailey told us,
Let's move on, let's celebrate.
and Darren Bailey opposes gun safety measures. All of them. Illinois, it's time to
Esau and the
vote
sword.
for Darren Bailey. Make your plan to vote.
Shortly before Irving spoke today, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver issued a statement saying Irving made a, quote, reckless decision.
Wait, you guys really think that these are the people the Most High? Come on.
The post a link to a film containing deeply offensive anti-Semitic material. He added he is, quote, disappointed that he has not offered an unqualified apology and will be meeting with Irving in the next week. This is the first time that any statement from the team, from the league, or the PA has specifically addressed Irving. Here now with Janae Abdul-McCabe, Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, and our guest, Rabbi.
Bald-head coon, bald-head coon.
In Los Angeles. Thank you so much for being here. Rabbi, I want to start with you here. What is your reaction to all that we just heard from Kyrie Irving?
The reaction was that when I was a child, I met people that were different than me on a basketball court. Not necessarily in my synagogue or...
And they're bringing these fucking rat bastards in, man.
in my Jewish school, but on a basketball court. And so the fact that this ball is tearing people apart right now, it not only makes me mad, it makes me scared. And not scared for myself, but actually scared for my own children.
What the fuck are you scared of? The nigga didn't say he was gonna harm y'all. He said he embraces all walks of life. That's that victim shit, man.
Kids in my own community and the kids around the world that take a tweet up there in the Twitterverse and the Instagram and the social media and take it as truth and then take that sometimes to action.
And some people might see this, as you mentioned, as just a social media post, but I always pride myself on educating myself so that I can educate others. Can you educate us as to the real life consequences of a post like this?
Absolutely. The real life consequences start in the tweet, but end up in my driveway here in Los Angeles when I get a baggie saying the Jews are responsible for COVID, the Jews are responsible for XYZ. The real life consequences...
True, nigga. Okay.
Consequences are when last week in my own Jewish school, middle school students on their way to a flag football game, their coach who was not Jewish, they're having an argument or a discussion about Kanye and Adidas, and the coach is, yes, I believe with Kanye. That was the only adult on the bus. And those kids were scared out of their mind, but they were educated and they were able to defend themselves. And the last consequence was when
It's a crime to agree with Kanye that we are the Israelites?
I got from a fourth grader yesterday. It says, I love wearing Kyrie shoes. And I am so sad in my heart that I put those shoes away. And so those are consequences, not about basketball and shoes, which believe me, I watch you guys.
Fucking fatty, man.
I
I don't give a fuck.
But we have to be better role models in each of our hearts and our souls.
If we could back up for just one moment, I think we need to start this conversation from a place of education and understanding. Why is the material in this book and film so deeply offensive?
Absolutely. So just here in Los Angeles City Council passed 2 days ago the definition of anti-Semitism according to the IHRA, which is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. And in that definition, it says that a perception of hatred to the Jewish community is the definition of anti-Semitism. Now, somebody asked, Charles Barkley asked me 2 days ago, have I read or seen that movie? And so when he asked, I looked it up and I started seeing what those anti-Semitic tropes were. Number one, there's untruths there. And when untruths are then seen as truths to the next person,
What's the untruth? Just get to the part on who's the chosen people and who ain't, man. That's the shit they like to skip around.
that leads to very dangerous consequences.
If you could speak to Kyrie, and I know we're on camera now, but in a personal education way, like what would you say to him? Not necessarily about your feelings, because you've made those very clear and they're very honest, and we appreciate you sharing them. But more in a level of education, like what would you say to him if you could?
Absolutely. So in our synagogue, we're blessed with gymnasiums, and during the summers, some of those players, now the secret's out now on ESPN, some of those players train in our facility. Every day I go to those players and I just say hello. And in the beginning of the season, they look at me like this. But at the end of the season, before they go off to their season, we give each other hugs because we got to know each other. And I pray that Kyrie, if he's in LA, when he's playing the Clippers, when he's playing the Lakers, come into our community. Because one of my best friends actually is a pastor in Inglewood. And we share a love of sports, we share a love of faith. Most of the things that we do together are actually based around sports because we have the love of faith. And so I say, embrace each other's faith. I call it multi-faith, not interfaith. Interfaith.
But Kyrie said he embraced all walks of life. That's that double talk, man.
It's like a little messy. Multi-faith says your faith is strong, your faith is strong, your faith is strong, and my faith is strong, and we can actually live together. Dr. Martin Luther King has famously marched with Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel in Alabama, not because they looked alike or served the same communities, but because they had the same belief that our society can change.
Speaking of that, I think something that has stood out to me that we've heard Kyrie mention a couple of times over the last several days, today in speaking about making sure folks bring the same energy. The first press conference he had, when he walked off of the press conference and said, well, what about Black women's reproductive rights? This notion of siloed care, that because I care about X, I cannot have the capacity to care about Y. How can that mentality shift?
So this is not just about sports, this is about our country. No surprise, next week we have elections. I'm not going in there, I'm a rabbi, I don't talk about politics, I talk about the heart and the soul. But that can change when we know the other. That can change not when, as Rich Eisen said on his podcast the other day, Kyrie, you're dehumanizing me, but that changes when we humanize each other. I read your story in the New York Post, I believe, last year, about you being Jewish and African American. Wow, you need to tell that story. You need to get us together. You need to tell.
Because the bitch is probably an Israelite, but she's running with this right man's doctrine, man.
Young people in Black communities, in Jewish communities, and by the way, I think it's important.
That's fucking sad. To know that you are Israelite, or to be an Israelite and you settle for some shit less, that's crazy, man.
Not all Jews look like me. Jews have different skin colors. Jews come from different places around the world. Jews have different political opinions. It's everywhere. Just like Catholics and Episcopalians and any type of religion, there's a diversity of opinion. And at the end of the day, we're here to put on this earth to partner with each other. And when we partner with each other, that's when we continue to partner with God.
So I have a question. Where's that in the Old Testament? What does that mean? People just talk, man.
So with all this being said, where do we go from here in your opinion, and how do we get everyone at the table to listen, to heal, and to move forward?
Absolutely. It's getting around the table, because too many of these tables are filled with empty chairs. 2 days ago, we got together multi-faith people, as I told you before, from Keepus to college.
That's it. I'm done with that. Hey, man. Hey, listen, Esau. This jig is up, man. You're the fucking Edomites. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of. You so-called white people, starting with you Jewish bastards. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. All right. I don't give a fuck. You can flag this video. I don't give a rat's ass. I ain't Kanye. I ain't fucking Kyrie. Nigga, we the man of the Lord. We gonna say exactly what the Lord told us to say, man. Hey, so with that, hey, I'm gonna say all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone. Salutations to the wherever you may be. Well,